Greetings everyone and welcome back to our YouTube channel where today we are diving into the topic that has sparked a lot of discussions lately. Why are people increasingly drawn towards the modern visually spectacular movies rather than just some good old movies? Join us as we dissect this fascinating trend and uncover the various reasons behind the shift in audience preferences. Let's kick things off by delving into the incredible leaps in technology. The evolution of filmmaking tools has been nothing short of extraordinary, giving rise to cutting-edge special effects, CGI, and visuals that push the boundaries of imagination. Modern filmmakers now wield the power to craft immersive and visually stunning worlds that were once deemed impossible. The technological revolution undeniably plays a pivotal role in the magnetic allure of the modern visual spectacles. As viewers, our expectations have undergone a profound transformation. In today's fast-paced world, there's a palpable desire for instant gratification and immersive experience. Modern visual spectacles cater to these cravings, offering intense, action-packed sequences, jaw-dropping visuals, and larger-than-life scenarios that grab audiences from the very start. It's not that the classic films lack substance, but rather than the evolving taste of audience has spawned a demand for more visually stimulating content. Now let's shift our focus to the impact of social media, and this is probably the biggest thing in the entire video. We can't even escape this, it is just embedded into our subconscious. Platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and of course YouTube have transformed the way we consume and share content. The visual striking moments from modern spectacles become easily shareable, creating a snowball effect of virality. The instant sharing and collective discussion contribute significantly to overall buzz surrounding modern visual spectacles, making them inherently more appealing to the broader audience. And there's the cinematic universes. The rise of the cinematic universes and the franchise has become a dominant force in the film industry. From the Marvel Cinematic Universe to the galaxy far, far away in Star Wars, these interconnected stories create a sense of anticipation and excitement that keeps audiences hooked. The promise of a visually spectacular experience tied with a larger narrative encourages viewers to actively participate in and invest in the modern blockbuster culture. This is a huge thing that has connected this entire population into one giant cluster of fucked up people. Moving on, let's touch on the ever persistent nostalgia factor. While classic films undoubtedly holds a special place in our hearts, the appeal of the modern visual spectacles lies in their representation of innovation and progress in the cinematic world. The allure of witnessing groundbreaking techniques and technologies often outweighs the sentiment attached to the good old days of filmmaking. To understand this transition, let's take a huge example. It's very simple one. Suppose a man who has experienced the explosion of the Death Star in the 1970s. Put him up in a situation where he has to choose a classic movie and a modern, visually spectacular movie. He'll most likely and probably choose the Star Wars. Why? Nostalgia? I do not know. The feeling of similarity? I don't know, but you'll probably choose that classic one. Why? I do not know again. As a people of modern generation, I prefer the modern movies which has spectacular visuals. But the classic movies, some of them are absolutely great and I have no doubt about it. The Two-Billed Angry Man is still my best movie till date and I have no complaint regarding it. It is probably the best thing created from my perspective, of course, and yours might be different. But that old man will choose Star Wars over exceptional movies like Oppenheimer or say any other movies. Why? Maybe it's nostalgia, maybe it's anything that has got to do with personality, but people are now having troubles regarding deciding what movies to watch because every movie that comes out every week had so much of the publicity, had so much of advertising, had so much of the cultural effect on us, and so much of things that we see on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. These are just affecting our mind in subconscious level. Like, what are we choosing to watch next time? Is this movie good? Is that movie bad? We are trying to watch a review of every movie to before going into the theaters. At the older generation, there was no option. Star Wars, it's the big thing. Everybody's watching Star Wars. That's it. That is it. Star Wars is coming. I'm going to watch it. But the modern times is absolutely changing, and when people go on to watch on something on Netflix, you will probably have the option to choose between a classical stuff, modern stuff, and many other stuff. For people who has got a good sense in movie, they'll probably choose something with a good story, and someone might choose action and stuff. Everybody has their own genre, I can understand that. But people from older time period who has experienced stuff like Star Wars and other great movies in theaters, they're probably drawn to do towards those movies because they're familiar with, they grew up with it. It means so much to them that we can't even comprehend them. Take an example of Dragon Ball. See, now Dragon Ball has come from the Dragon Ball, the original series, to the Super one, where an entirely new author draws it, but still people are reading it. People from especially were in their 30s or 40s are reading it rather than the older generation. Can you believe that? I mean, this is actually true. If you go and look at the statistic of this, people are actually there who are in their 40s and still reading Dragon Ball. Why? Because it has that effect in their mind. They grew up reading that Dragon Ball thing, and now they're still reading it. It is such an amazing thing when you try to just put it all into perspective and look at it. Man, this is absolutely ridiculous. When I found out that like one of the 40 years old uncle I have is still reading Dragon Ball. Can you believe that? I mean, I was so amazed at that factor that he doesn't even know what next generation, what new generation is coming. There are many mangas that are better than that, but it's still fixated on Dragon Ball. Why? Because it's nostalgia for them. It's a feeling that they grew up with. So I think I made myself pretty clear regarding the entire stuff that has gone with the transition between classical and modern films. Obviously, for me, there is the main thing, the main element, the story. The story has to be good, and everything else is secondary, because some of the directors from the older time period are so talented. Look at the rear movie window. I mean, absolutely intense, absolutely great. The movies like 12 Great Men, Schindler's List, one of the best in the entire world. So I don't want to go too much deeply into that. The video is already long. That's a wrap up for today in-depth analysis. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more captivating content, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay entertained and keep the conversations rolling.